If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, how do YouTubers get all of their free cam and cinematic shots for all of their cinematics look so good? Well, in this video I'm going to be showing you and talking you through exactly how you can do that and make your own videos or just get really nice free cam shots in ERLC. So if you do enjoy this video, please do make sure you drop a like and also subscribe, but let's get straight into this one. So this video is a little bit different to normal, but what I'm going to be showing you is the little tricks and the secrets to getting the really nice shots that you see in like OMB cinematics, or that you might have seen in my 9/11 tribute, which is like my most popular video, and loads of other YouTubers as well for like Remembrance Day and Police Week. There's always loads and loads of cinematics and also trailers for private servers and other things like that. So there's one thing that is really important when you are taking cinematic or free cam shots. By the way, free cam shots is literally the Shift P thing, which is also the same as cinematics. Now, a thing that I have noticed in ERLC is when you do first join on to a private server, you have to reset for your free cam to actually work. But what you need to do is just press Shift and P at the same time, and there you go, you will enter free cam mode. So like I was saying, the thing that you need to know is that it takes a lot of time, especially if it's one with a lot of people. You do the same shot over and over again. For example, my Life on the Front Line video, which hopefully most of you have seen. If you haven't, go and check it out, you're missing out. But everything we did in that was all free cam and cinematic shots. We had like 10 videographers that were all in free cam in cinematic mode, and they were all just recording their screens, flying around in this free cam mode, in just getting as many shots as possible, and then we just compiled them all together. And the trick is just do it as many times. For example, if you're doing a specific route, so for example for my 9/11 tribute, there was kind of a shot which I will put over the screen now, where they kind of went like behind the traffic lights and up the hill, and that was filmed just here. Now, they were driving up this hill, so I had to follow them up this hill and then turn the camera around so it would be just over the traffic lights, but I had to do that at the perfect speed to match it. So it was kind of like this, and you can see sometimes you'll be off center, sometimes you'll be too high, sometimes you'll be to the right, too much to the left, and then they have to drive all the way back around and you just have to do it again. And that's the trick to getting these really nice trailers and cinematics. It's just doing it over and over again until you're happy with what you've got. And even if you get one you're happy with the first time, just do it again, do it a couple more times, so that when you are editing it, you do have like a little bit of room to change, and if you decide you don't like it when you're editing, then you can change it. So yes, the main thing there is just make sure you have a bit of time, your people that are doing it with you also have a bit of time and are willing to do the same thing over and over again. But also, before you do it, come on and practice. For example, if you know you're going to be like doing like a turn here, practice, make sure you get a good speed, practice kind of flying up a bit like this, and practice getting kind of the shots and the things that you actually want to get, so that when they do join, or when all of your friends join, you actually know what you want and you can do it because you've already tried it. But in terms of actually being in free cam, there are some things that you can do that a lot of people don't know. So the first thing is you can use your arrow keys on your keyboard. So a lot of people do not know this. A lot of people know that you can hold shift and it will slow you down temporarily. A lot of people don't know is you can completely change the speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to completely fly straight forward in free cam, and I'm going to spam my down arrow key on my keyboard, and you'll see what I mean. So look, notice how each time I press it, I'm sure you can hear my keyboard because it's very loud, but each time I press it, my free cam just gets slower and slower until it's at the point where we are barely moving. Now, I'm still holding W. If I increase it a little bit by 2 more, you can see I'm not holding shift, I'm still just holding W and moving my mouse around, and you can see how slow we're going. And then if I also press shift now, you can see we are moving really slowly, and we can make it even slower, right to the very slowest speed. You can see some of the nice shots you can get here. You can kind of get like a nice one like of a car in here, for example, of you just flying up. But honestly, a thing that I've learned from doing all of these things I've done with free cam and cinematics in ERLC and in Roblox as a whole is that speed literally means everything. What you're doing, the speed you go depends on what you're doing. For example, if you're in a pursuit, then you want to be going really fast with the pursuit. You want to be flying up, flying around, you want to be kind of like spinning around the car if you can, doing your best to keep up with it. Whereas if you're, for example, filming, I don't know, like someone in the news station, for example, like one of the news reporters, you want to be doing it slowly. So I'm not in here, so it's quite dark right now, but you want to spam that down arrow key and you want to be doing it really slowly. And you can move around every now and then, so you can just keep moving forward like that if you want to, or you can kind of go up a bit like this and move your mouse to try and track them perfectly in sync. It does take a little bit of concentration and a lot of like sensitivity, but what I would recommend is always going quite a slow speed. Never just keep the default speed. And also, if you press the up arrow a lot of times, you'll see that it actually increases your speed instead of slows you down. So you can see now I'm pressing this a lot of times. If I spam it loads and loads, obviously the map hasn't loaded here, so it's got really laggy. Oh my gosh, let's turn back around. But you can now see how fast my free cam is going. It is going really fast. Like, it is so ridiculously fast. You should never have it at this speed because all of your shots are just so like choppy and not very nice. And if you want to reset it to the normal speed, by the way, just exit out of free cam and go back into it and it will be reset. And FOV as well. If you don't know what FOV is zooming in and out. So you can zoom out and have it quite wide and stretched like this and it looks kind of weird, or you can have it zoomed in and it will look kind of like a lot more cinematic. You can see, for example, my LDR rate there looks a lot nicer with this kind of FOV on it. And again, if you want to reset that, exit out of free cam and go back into it and it will be back to normal. Now, in terms of actually moving around in free cam, I recommend always pressing 2 keys at the same time. So obviously your main keys for this are Q to go down, E to go up, W forward, A left, S back, and D to the right. So I recommend always pressing 2 of the same thing, sometimes even 3. For example, if I'm filming my LDR rate here, I won't just be pressing W. If I press W, it takes me like that. If I press D, it takes me like that. What I instead will do is be pressing W and D. And then you can see that takes us perfectly next to the car. And I'll be moving my mouse to kind of line up with it. And then we get a really nice shot just behind the car there and then back out to the front. And what you'll notice when you're doing free cam is that you honestly just go with what happens. When you start the shot, you can't plan it, you just kind of go wherever it is, and the more experience you get with this, the better. So you can see I did not plan for this to kind of be over the head and like a bird's eye view, but that's just kind of where it's ended up. And then you can see we did a few circles and then lined it up for a nice little shot upwards, and you can pan up there or something if the map was loaded. I don't know, it's really up to you. But always press 2 buttons at the same time. Something you can also do is press 3 at the same time. For example, if I press W and D again, just like that, what I can also do is press E. So WD and then throw an E in there as well. And you can see we then start to go up, and then you can move your mouse again and track it. And obviously mouse movements is everything with free cam shots as well. And then finally, just make sure that you're not being choppy. Make sure you are being as smooth as you possibly can. Don't just be like moving around or randomly increasing or changing your speed. Once you've got a speed and a camera angle, you just follow with it and drag it out for as long as you can. And then when you go into a building or something just like that, you quickly reposition and then you get another shot. So you will quickly change your speed or something, and then there you go. You can see I'm now pressing W and A and slightly tilting my mouse down, and when we just get around to the back, I'm gonna press E and bring it up just like that. And you can see I didn't plan any of that, it just kind of happened. And it looked pretty cool. If that was a cinematic, that would look quite nice. So this video was a little bit different, but I actually think that it is very useful in my opinion. If someone would have told me this when I was starting out, it would have definitely helped me. I guess the 3 main points to take away from this are: make sure your FOV is not ridiculously extreme. Make sure it's not too zoomed in, not too zoomed out. And if you need to reset it, make sure you just exit free cam and